In this video, I'm going to, number one, tell you about what I had to do by the time that I was 27, why I'm currently not there, what's going to happen if I don't make it, and then a little bit about who am I right now. I've grown a lot. Like, I've changed. I don't even want to say changed, because I'm still like my dancer self and my goofy self, but I'm like a different, more like I'm a different part of myself. I'm a more evolved. That's the only way I can put it. I think I should reintroduce myself to you beautiful people who have been freaking following me for so freaking long. One day I really hope that I can do something to where I can meet you guys. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys can see me. I'm trying to be aesthetic here and do like cute. Yeah, I would just love to meet the people who have been following me. But also, if I'm honest, I feel kind of bad because like I said, I'm still the core of who I am, but I've changed a lot. My interests have changed. Me as a person have just evolved. I'm gonna stop saying change, but evolved. And part of me feels like a lot of you guys are not gonna like the evolved part of me. Or not be interested in it anymore, which is okay, but I feel like, you know what? I want to reintroduce myself to let you guys know of who I am. I kind of did it a little bit, like I sneaked it in my last video, but I want to give you guys the opportunity to either to know who I am, know my interests, know who the evolved 27-year-old Jess is, and if you still resonate with me, I guess, I don't know how to describe it, then you can stay and enjoy the journey that's gonna be this year. It's gonna be quite a journey. Or you can just know that we are not compatible. We're no longer compatible anymore. That's the best way I can say it, and that's okay. It's the same as having friendships that don't work out, or you grow apart, or or a relationship. The person grows into themselves, blossoms into themselves, and figures out themselves. And, if you grow with them, then cool. If not, you go your own separate ways, So anyways, let's just get into that, okay? Hi, my name is Jessica. My name is Jessica. I like to go by Jess because I wanted to be original. I hated that I'm from Los Angeles, California, and where I lived, there was a lot of Jessicas, and I hated it. I wanted to stand out. And I was like, I want to be different. Everybody called me Jess. There's too many Jessicas in this world, until I realized that there's a lot of Jessicas that were like me and wanted to be called Jess too, because of the same reason. And I was like, forget it. But I'm still Jess. That's what I go by. It's so funny. I literally made that conscious decision. Everybody called me Jess. My name is not Jessica. Jess. I was very silly. I'm not answering to Jessica. My name is Jess. Oh, I remember that. That's so crazy. As you're growing up times. Anyways. So my name is Jess. I'm 27 years old. My birthday is January 24th, 1996. So that makes me an Aquarius. And it's weird for me to say this now, because one of the things I'm going to be telling you guys is I don't know if this is inappropriate to say, but I'm coming out of the closet. I'm a coming out of the closet astrology lover. It's been something that I low-key, hiddenly loved for a long time. But I was like, I don't want to be known as those astrology obsessive people, annoying people, who lives their life according to astrology, which I've never been that super into it. Of course, I'll like to read something about myself and be like, oh, that resonates, or no, that doesn't. But lately, for whatever reason, in the past year, I don't know, I've gotten this spark of interest to really dive deep into deeper astrology, and that's your astrology chart, your actual full chart. I think that's what you call it, astrology chart, your birth chart, and that's real astrology, anyways, we're not going to get too deep into that, but that's where I am. I'm into deep astrology, not surface level, oh, I'm an Aquarius. I'm big into your rising sign, your moon sign, blah blah blah, the houses, all that. So if you're an deep astrology freak like me, you'll know exactly. And I say freak jokingly. I'm only saying it because there are a lot of people who don't believe in astrology or don't like to hear about astrology looks at us as like freaks, but it's okay. I love being a freak. Anyways, and I am, like I said, from Los Angeles, California, but I live in Georgia. I moved out here when I was like turning 11, 10, 11, whatever, something like that. My current job right now, excuse me, sorry. Okay, my current job right now is I am a social media marketer for a health and wellness / spiritual metaphysical store. I've been working here for this month was actually my 1 year working there. It's been quite a journey, let me tell you. I've learned so much about myself, and little did I know that was going to be the thing in my life that contributed heavily to me like finding myself. Never would have ever thought that it would be like a spiritual store. Like before I started working there, I thought that I guess I heard about people who were into crystals and spiritual things. I never really heard about that much, but I always deemed spiritual things as like, I don't know, weird, because I will only hear about it in the movies. I was never really around anybody who was like spiritual or whatever, or practice spiritual things or whatever, you know. But yeah, I always thought that they were like, I don't know, weird. Not in a mean way, because I would never say that. I just never resonated with them. I would just say that. And weird is not a bad thing. I liked myself as weird. That's a characteristic I would really proudly wear on my, like, I'm the weird girl, and it's fine. But weirdly, strangely enough, all my life, I was just telling my boyfriend this, all my life, I've always thought I was like the odd one out. I just always never felt like I fit in. And I was just the odd one out, and I was just the weird one. I mean, you know, and funny enough, when I started working at this place, it was like the first time in my life where I felt like I belonged. I belonged. Like I didn't feel like the odd one out anymore. Like I felt like I was around my people because everyone else was as weird, if not weirder than me, in a good way. And I jokingly say weird because once again, that's a word that people who don't understand and don't know about whatever will say. But yeah, going into that, I was like, wow, I was so, like, I felt like I fit in. I finally felt like I was at a place that I felt like I fit in. So, you know, a person who, like, always thought different things and just, like, always had an open mind and wanted to just learn and know more about, like, everything. I don't know how to describe it, like, self-growth and like certain things that was like escalated. Like I've always been into like bettering yourself. You guys know this, like loving, becoming the best version of yourself and loving yourself and all the things, you know. Like I said, I wanted to be a psychologist. I went to school for that, and then I stopped, you know, paused it to pursue being a content creator, and here I am now saying that I'm struggling financially. Life is so funny, right? But let's not forget, you know, I had a great times, you know, like I've done a lot in my life, you know. I had a peak time that was amazing, but yeah, it's not over yet. It's just life had to like smack me in my face for me to focus on myself, like my inner self. So it's fine, like to grow. I feel like a lot of like my life was like focused on my outer appearance and self. And like I said, that was great, but sometimes things happen in life for it to make you focus on the things that you need to focus on. So anyways, it's just funny enough that job is somewhere where I was like, oh wow, I fit in the most. But then it's funny because I didn't know much about spiritual practices and metaphysical things and all the things, I didn't know how taboo and how like people were so freaking like against that. I thought it was like, whoa, like a place where you can like look into your deeper self and get in touch with your spiritual side. And spiritual not meaning, like a lot of people think spiritual means religion. Like spiritual is like your soul, like like the inner parts of yourself. It doesn't have to be tied to religion. In my opinion, it's separated. You know, like you could still be a spiritual person, as in like focusing on your soul, your inner part of yourself, and still have your own religion that you are. So it's weird how a lot of people, I just know that there's just so many misinformation, which infuriates me so much, because there's nothing I hate more. I always say, like, I don't like using hate because it's a strong word. Something that literally pisses me off is people thinking they know what they're talking about when they don't, and they just sound really silly, and like you sound like you don't, like you sound uneducated, really. And it's sad, you know, because a lot of people have the galls to talk about something that they're very uneducated about. And then a lot of people also will try to use tactics on like their experiences with certain things and put that on somebody else. So I didn't know that that was such a big thing. Like I said, you guys saw when I posted it, and I don't know, to a lot of you guys it probably was jarring because of your perception of it, because a lot of you were probably like how I was when I thought, like, only my perception of that was like, I just didn't understand spirituality or metaphysical things or whatever the case may be. And there's levels to it. Like I always say, you know, there's good and bad with everything. It's about your intention and all the things, but like, it's just funny. So of course, the thing that I love the most and feel like tied to the most, it's like, obviously seems like it's like the most controversial things that, but it's just a part of me loving self growth and healing and everything like that. Like I'm a person that wants to grab things from different places, and I'm not biased. I'm not just because I have this one, you know, religious belief. You know, I grew up on Christianity, doesn't mean that I'm not going to be open to hearing about, which is probably against what people believe, but I'm not a type of person that's tied to one thing. I'm always going to be open to wanting to learn and implement other people's practices. Like I said, whether it's Buddhist, even though I may not like say that identify myself as that person, I'm still going to want to like, oh, they do whatever practices that they do that helps them with their self-growth and everything like that. And if I feel like, whoa, that resonates with me, I can still try it and do it as a practice, as a self-care and a self-growth practice, but still be whatever, you know, whatever religion I still believe in. It's just like, anyways, as you guys can say, that's another thing about me. I just literally cannot stand closed-minded people. So first off, if you're a closed-minded person, we're just not compatible. I mean, we're just not gonna work. Like, you can just unsubscribe, especially now, because there's gonna be so much things that if it goes against what you believe in, and you just are not, and you can't bear to see other people doing what makes them happy and what resonates with them and what helps them, and you think that that's whatever, then yeah, we're just not gonna work. So that's another thing. I just really want to like clear away all those people. You know, maybe you followed me for hair, but you are like really set in the way that you do things, and you don't want to see certain other things. That's totally fine. I don't judge you for it. I just want you to just unsubscribe and leave now, because I don't even want, like, I'm glad, you know, I appreciate you for being here, and I'm happy I was able to help you with hair stuff, but like right now, once again, it's like a relationship that we just grew apart. You know, we don't have the same interest anymore, and that's okay. So anyways, I just went into a whole tangent on that. But anyways, I've been working at my job for a year. That's been great, but there's been a lot of good things about it. There's been, like I said, like I just mentioned, me finding myself and feeling comfortable and blah blah blah, and then there's been a lot of challenging parts about it, you know, that I won't get into right now. Now is not the time to get into, but you just learn certain things in your life. And this was my first time being like a social media marketer. And that's been another huge journey, and I've learned so much, like, about content creating and advertising and the behind the scenes of like running a small business. And but I'm like 22 minutes in. Oh my freaking gosh. I said I was gonna sit here and just do a quick 8-minute video. I'm gonna try to hurry up because I'm rambling way too much. This is just supposed to be a quick video. But so that's been great. You know, like I said, social media marketing has been great. I've learned a lot of things. I've learned, you know, a lot of like things that's gonna help me later on in my life as well. So it's just funny how things just work out. Me like being scared of the business side of things before I started working here, and now that I have the knowledge, I'm like, oh wow, like I have a lot of experience and stuff in this now. So anyways, so that's that. But it's funny because I'm in a part of my life where I kind of accepted that I'm gonna be a person that needs to have multiple streams of income. And that's something that I kind of realized recently, you know, because I have different interests, and what I do is not like linear, you know, it's not like a set 9 to 5 job or anything like that, you know. So in order for me to be able to do what I love, I realized that I'm going to have multiple streams of income, because sometimes when you're doing a more artistic, creative route, it could be like a lot of ebbs and flows when it comes to like financial aspect of it. And like, I can't live like that. I mean, it was fine to live like that when I was young. I'm still young, but like, I'm thinking more about the future side of things, and I'm trying to start preparing myself to, you know, preparing myself for the adult, mature parts of life that's going to be coming soon. Not soon, but like, you know, like thinking about marriage and family, creating a family. Sorry, the thought of me. I think that's beautiful, but I fear pregnancy. That's one thing about me. Another topic. But anyways, myself being pregnant. But yeah, anyway, so I'm starting to really think about that, the mature side, like the adult part of my goals. And I'm like, it scares me because I'm nowhere near ready. Like, I'm ready, I guess, emotionally, but I'm not ready financially. And, you know, I'm like, ooh, I need to start preparing for my future. You know, I've been living for the now a lot. Like I said, I'm like that person that's had a bunch of money at one point and just didn't do well with it at all because my lack of finance. And that's why I say a lot of my situation, I complain about my financial situation, but I know it's my fault. And because I didn't have the knowledge, you know, of that. And of course I can be that person that like, oh, I didn't grow up with learning about, you know, money management and finances and stuff. But I had access to, as I got older, you know, like, and it just took, sometimes people have to learn the hard way in life. And that's me. When it comes to finances, I just have to learn the hard way. So now that I'm just learning and I'm understanding and I'm growing up, I'm like, okay, like I need to get better at that. So anyways, the point is, I'm currently at the point in my life where I'm going to be looking for another job. And obviously with all my jobs, I don't want to be at a job that I don't enjoy. So I'm kind of trying to think like, you know, what would be something that I would enjoy doing as like a side job. And long story short, because it took me a while to get here, and this is going to be a whole nother story of how I connected or how I came about this idea job that I would like to do. It may come as a surprise to you guys, or it may not. If you pay attention, if you've been following me for a while, besides the hair stuff, and you see like what I've been doing in my everyday lives, which I don't always put out all the time. But if you guys, I don't know, the real detectives, if you guys, some of you guys may be, a lot of you guys may be surprised, some of you guys may not. But long story short, I decided, without going into detail of how, I decided that I wanted to pursue becoming a yoga instructor as like another part of a job, a side hobby / job, a career, whatever. And that's something that I'm gonna be like, I just recently kind of thought like accepted and realized that that's something that I would love to do, and that is like totally me, and and I don't know, I could just see myself being a yoga instructor. Can you guys see me being a yoga instructor? Namaste. Anyways, but I just think that fits me so well, and I've been doing yoga on and off for like, I don't even know how many years, like so long. So since I started, you guys saw me wearing my yoga work shirt and doing yoga on and off. I've been doing it for so long, 5+ years, I don't know. But that's something that I was like, you know what, I can do that I can be a yoga instructor on the side. And that would be so nice. Like, that'll be me connecting with the community part, because I've been online for so long, and that almost made me lose touch of like real life in a sense. And, you know, this job has helped me, you know, actually having a job that I have to go to, but also like being a yoga instructor and like teaching people, like learning about, that just sounds like so like where the best place for me to head right now. Okay, so now going to this thing that I told myself that I wanted to be at by the time I'm at 27, and how I'm not there yet. And it's not late, because I just turned 27 in January, so it's January, February, March, April. Oh wow, okay, January, February, March. I'm only like 3 months in, so I have more than enough time to make this happen, hopefully. But I didn't start off the year too well. But anyways, the point is, I told myself by the time that I'm 27, if I'm not making money off of doing what I love, aka content creating, one of the things that I love, I am gonna have to like, I really said go back to school to be a psychologist, to pursue my psychology major. But also that, and also like I'm really gonna have to really reevaluate my life and maybe put content creating on a pause to really start pursuing things that's going to another route that's more set in stone. Like I said, going back to school would be one of those things. So that's like a degree, and obviously having your degree now is different than it was then, but having, you know, going to school for psychology is something that I could actually have as a backup plan. But that's going to be so much. So low-key, I don't want to have to do that. I would love the idea of being a psychologist or a therapist. Sounds beautiful, but the work that has to go into that, the time, the money, I'm like, especially when I know that I can kind of implement that with still content creating, you know, I can still like feed that urge to help people in a way. And that's all I enjoy, like helping people learn to like love themselves and take care of themselves and become the best version of themselves. Like, I don't necessarily have to go to school for that, but I told myself that. I told myself by 27, if I don't have, you know, if I'm not being able to make enough money if I'm still struggling financially doing what I'm doing now, like I'm gonna have to stop. Not stop, but pause it, minimize it, and focus on something else, like school. So here I am at 27. My views are lower than they ever been, but that's okay, because, you know, first of all, I've been freaking inconsistent. So with the algorithm anyways, the algorithm was like, girl, we don't know if you're gonna show up this year, next month, next week, I don't know. So I totally understand that. And like I said, being a social media marketer, I know about how all that works. But also, on top of me being inconsistent, I've changed a lot. Like, I literally just told you guys. So for what I know that gives me views, I'm still kind of torn in between. Like, I still enjoy hair, but like I said, I want to start implementing the things that I am where I am now. Obviously, my love for like inner healing, inner work. As far as obviously externally, I still like looking cute and doing my hair and all the things, but also talking about like my life things. I haven't even dipped in my toe into friendships now. Like, that's a whole nother like journey I've been thinking about. How like I don't have any friends. Like, yeah, I don't have any friends. I just put that out there. Like, I literally like ended my friends that I had made quickly. Like, I stopped talking with them. I feel so bad. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. But like, yeah, like my journey of realizing like I'm ready to like be within my community. And now that I know who my community is, I now know what I want out of a friend. And now I'm going to start doing the things that will get me within that space and meeting people, like-minded people. But anyways, I want to show that journey. So like, you know, I'm just kind of still caught up in like the how do I do this? What you guys want? Oh, I don't know. Or should I not? I'm just like in this like sometimes I think I have it figured out, and then sometimes I don't, you know, I don't know. So it's just been that journey. So like I said, with that also being the case, I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, I want to go full force, and right now, you know, and I don't want to tell you guys my plans because you guys, I'm terrible. I need to stop telling you guys what I'm gonna do and then falling through in it. Let me just tell you now though, the fact that I know that I have this year, giving myself this year, my last year, to really go full force in what I enjoy, like being a content creator. I'm not playing no games. You guys, I started posting a while back ago, and then I stopped when I told you guys I was going to be consistent, and I was doing like the weekly routines, and everything was going well. Honestly, I got my most views, you know, not really, but in a while doing that. And I started that, and that was supposed to be me coming back. And then my grandmother, which I don't really want to go into deep things about, but she has been battling with leukemia, and it's been getting really, really rough for her. And I had to go to California to visit her, and it's just been a lot, you know, that and other personal stuff like life, but that mainly, I mean, and just other personal things. So life be still lifing, you know, and I have to really try my best to, like, obviously with certain things like my grandmother, like obviously I'm gonna focus on that, but I obviously have to, I learned that I need to have a system in place and just certain things. So I'm not playing this freaking year. Let me just tell you that right now. I'm not freaking playing. I'm not gonna, this year is so sacred and important to me to be able to at least say if by the end of this year I literally put out and did as much as, I want to say that I did the best that I could, no matter how it turns out, you know, no matter if I end the year off with still having less than 1,000 views. That's not going to happen. I know that's not going to happen. I know I will find my community, you know, I will grow my community. Those of you who want to stay will stay, and those of you and the new people who align with my interest will come, but that's a journey. So I know that I have to stay consistent through the low parts, you know, this transitional period where people are just realizing like, hey, this is not the person I subscribe to. You know, it's okay, but I have to just be consistent. It's the thing I've been freaking saying all this time. So I'm back from the trip. I don't have anything planned for the next couple of months. I will have to go back to see my grandmother in June, and that's, once again, I'm not gonna really go into that, but just know I'm just, you know, as an adult, you just get to stages where family grows older and certain things happen that's really challenging. But anyways, I'm gonna use these next few months before I have to go back to California. I'm really gonna like freaking, please, if you are not into whatever that I have said, leave if you want. I'll still be doing my weekly hair care, but I'll be implementing my life stuff more. Like my growth part of myself, becoming an adult, fulfilling my careers, making friends. I'm just kidding. I'm not even sad because I'm excited about it. Like flourishing financially, all the things, you know. Doing my self-care, soul care, practices and stuff like that. Even the astrology weird part. Oh, please let there be other deep astrology freaks out there, please. I would love to have somebody to freaking ramble about like charts and stop annoying my boyfriend that doesn't want to hear it. It's so funny because I'm always telling him like stuff about astrology. He's so annoyed by me. But you know, if I can find somebody else to talk about like houses and moon signs and all the stuff like that, I would love that. Okay, anyways, that's it. I'm gonna go. This is not supposed to be that long. Thank you for being here. If you watched until the end, leave 3 green hearts for growth. Like, obviously I'm not in this alone. You guys are all doing your things, and I don't know if you want to share anything that you're trying to pursue by the end of this year so you can be with me on this journey, or any encouraging words or what you think. I don't know, comment something. And yeah, happy April 1st, and I'll freaking see you soon. Like, for real though, like for real, things are at stake. Okay, I can't screw this up. I don't want to put money into college right now or anytime soon. Okay, so I'll be back.